Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here, your source for gaming, tech, emulation, and open source news. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, we're talking about Nintendo Switch emulation with Citron, and Citron just got a brand new update. So at the time of filming, Citron version 0.7 is the latest update, and this update seems to be massive. It's titled Complete Rewrite. They say this release represents a complete ground-up rewrite of the Citron emulator by Zephyron. This is 100% original work. No AI assistance was used in the development process. And they go on to say here, complete Vulkan rendering pipeline overhaul, advanced ZBC table management with GPU memory integration, enhanced Nintendo SDK crash detection and recovery system, optimized descriptor update queue performance, adaptive timeout and auto disable for Vulkan turbo mode, missing kernel event handle and service function implementations, ISBERD instruction implementation and shader recompiler, query pointer buffer size service with proper IPC buffer calculation, network stability improvements for HDR multiplayer, cross-platform compilation fixes, Linux, Android, and Windows, authentication system integration for beta testing, and complete rewrite of core emulation components. Now, under the important notes, they say here the FSR2, which stands for Subscribe to Mr. Sujano, or Fidelity FX Super Resolution 2, depending on how you wanted to interpret that. Implementation is currently half-baked and experimental. Users should expect visual artifacts and rendering glitches, inconsistent frame rate improvements, potential crashes or instability, memory management issues, and compatibility problems with certain games. Furthermore, they say here, and I think this is really worth pointing out, as this is a complete rewrite, users should anticipate game compatibility regressions, performance inconsistencies, UX, UI issues, platform-specific bugs, memory leaks in certain scenarios, and audio synchronization problems. Now, I'm not going to lie here, I was very surprised about this update for one big reason, or maybe a couple of reasons, but number one, I was surprised that this update was out so soon. And number two, I'm surprised that it's a complete rewrite. Let me know your thoughts about Citron in the comments below. It seems right now in the Switch emulation space where things seem to have really slowed down, things are seemingly really picking up. But moving on from that and still talking about emulation, and this is more of just a friendly heads up here, we're talking about MAME, where MAME stands for Multiple Arcade Machine Emulation. Anyways here, MAME for Droid current version 0.280 just dropped on Android. And this brings the Android version of MAME on par with the mainline version of MAME. Next up, we're still talking about handheld devices, provided your Android device is handheld, but we're switching from Android to Apple. And talking about the iPod here, and this is a very interesting and I would say very exciting headline. All 54 lost Clickwheel iPod games have now been preserved. Now, I don't know about you, but I would say this is a big win and a very interesting win for game preservation. I'm assuming there's a lot of people out there who have never experienced an iPod Clickwheel game. If you have, let me know in the comments below. And if you haven't, but you're interested, let me know in the comments below. This whole project is up on GitHub and it's titled iPod Clickwheel Games Preservation Project. Now, if you are interested in this and wanted to learn more about it, like everything we talk about, links will be within the GitHub link in the bottom of the description below. I don't hide my sources. And I would recommend checking out this Ars Technica article. I think it's well written and extremely informative. And it seems that the entire preservation effort took quite a while and was not easy at all. I mean, for example here, they say preservation of Real Soccer 2009 was especially cursed. And also, it seems that there were a number of iPod HDDs that died when people were trying to back up the game files. And speaking about Apple, next up we're talking about the iPhone 17 series. And if you wanted to learn more about that, Apple today, at least at the time of filming here, will be having an awe-dropping Apple event. And they're going to be unveiling the, I'm pretty sure, already leaked iPhone 17. If you are interested in this one, feel free to check out the YouTube link within the GitHub link in the description. And on a quick side note here, I think it's worth noting that it's not just the iPhone 17 series that's being unveiled, although I think most people will be most excited in the iPhone 17 series. I guess they're also going to be unveiling some Apple AirPods as well as watches and even more stuff, maybe some surprise stuff. And speaking about stuff to be unveiled, next up we're talking about the PlayStation 6. And if you're thinking the PlayStation 5 just released, why are we already talking about the PS6? Well, it is worth noting here, the PS5 released 5 years ago. It's been a while. Anyways, here, it's being reported that the PlayStation 6 is planned to have a detachable disk drive on launch, which means I think we're really heading to an all-digital future. Now, it is worth noting that although this is currently just a rumor and speculation, there may be a little bit more weight to that. So the Insider Gaming article says several sources who wish to remain anonymous. That's more than just one person blowing smoke, so we'll have to wait and see. But I guess here they say identical to the PlayStation 5 and its detachable disk drive, customers will be able to buy the console individually as a digital console, bundled with the PlayStation 6 as a traditional console, or upgrade later by purchasing a detachable disk drive separately. Now, I don't know about you here, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, but I'm not at all surprised with this announcement for a number of reasons. Number one, the trend towards an all-digital future. It seems like that's going to be the way moving forward. And number two, the detachable disk drive. I would say from a manufacturing perspective, it's going to save Sony a ton of money. It's literally just one model with different attachments, and that could be really easy to make and ship. Now, unfortunately, and again, not surprisingly, we don't have more information about the PlayStation 6. We don't know the release date. We don't know the price. And we don't know how it's going to play with this upcoming rumored PS6 handheld as well, which I am very interested in. And speaking about stuff in development, next up we're talking about a brand new emulation front end currently in development for Android. It is called, the working title right now is Emulation Launcher. And based on the images, it seems that this is shaping up really nicely. Based on the information here, it does seem that this will launch on the Play Store at some point in time. There is no release date, and I'm assuming it's going to be a paid app. But if you wanted to learn more about this and also provide feedback based on some of the information here, the developer is actively seeking recommendations, input, and feedback. And speaking about stuff that people emulate, next up here we're talking about Deus Ex. And if you're a fan of Deus Ex and a fan of GOG and a fan of the one-click mod, you might be a fan of this here. I think this is a fantastic announcement. But GMDX is now available on GOG as a one-click mod for Deus Ex. Now, it's worth noting that GMDX does require a copy of Deus Ex in order to work, but it is a 100% free mod. And Deus Ex right now, the GOTY edition, which stands for Game of the Year edition, is up right now on GOG for $3.50, at least here in Canada, so probably even cheaper in the States. So for the GMDX mod, they say the legendary classic, rebuilt and refined, GMDX is a critically acclaimed, large-scale overhaul of the original Deus Ex, meticulously designed to serve as the definitive way to experience the game, preserving its soul while elevating every facet of gameplay, design, and polish. And speaking about simple and straightforward stuff and polish, next up we're talking about RetroBat. And RetroBat just got a brand new update to version 7.4. Now, for those who may not be familiar with RetroBat, they say here it's a software distribution designed for emulation and to be the easiest way to enjoy your game collection on your Windows computer. So if you're on Linux, you're kind of out of luck here. So at the time of filming, with the latest update to RetroBat, they've updated a bunch of emulators, including MAME and Mezen and Ymir and Azahar. And also RPCS3, they bumped to version 37-18022, which is the latest version RPCS3 recommends for Windows. On top of that, there's a bunch of fixes, some new features like adding microphone options for Melon DS, and other stuff, including improved performance on loading store games. And speaking about store games, next up we're talking about Beyond Sunset. Now, this is an indie game that's been built in GZ Doom. It's currently on the Steam store. It's got a very positive review score. It was released in early access in 2023. There is a demo available, and it's worth noting here it's leaving early access on Friday, which means the price is going to go up. If this is on your wish list, you may want to check this out now, or maybe have to pay a bigger price later. And speaking about stuff launching, next up here we're talking about the exact opposite, but it is a launcher. We're talking about something shutting down that I think is going to upset a lot of people, and that is Nova Launcher. Over on the Google Play Store, it's got a 4-star rating with over 1.3 million reviews and over 100 million downloads. So this announcement comes from Kevin Barry, and they say here, "Hi everyone, I'm the founder and original developer of Nova Launcher. I've been the only one working on Nova for the past year. I needed to let you know that I have left Branch and am no longer involved with Nova Launcher. For the past several months, I have been preparing the open source release of Nova Launcher. This work included cleaning up the codebase, reviewing licenses, removing or replacing proprietary code, and coordinating with legal to ensure a proper release. When Branch acquired Nova in 2022, Branch then CEO and founder Alex Austin made several public commitments to the community about Nova's future, including statements about open sourcing. Kevin even brought receipts to this announcement, and there are quotes here from Alex Austin. "Thanks for the suggestion. I'll bring it up with Kevin, but ultimately releasing the source code is his call. And if Kevin were to ever leave, it's contracted that the code will be open sourced and put in the hands of the community." Which apparently, according to this email, is not the case now. I mean, Kevin goes on to say here, "However, I was ultimately asked to stop working on Nova Launcher and the open sourcing effort. Nova Launcher has been an incredible project and has an incredible community. I'm grateful for the years of support, feedback, and enthusiasm." Now, it's worth noting here, I haven't seen an official announcement from Nova stating that it is shutting down. I've seen Kevin's announcement, and we just went over that. But I haven't seen anything official from Nova just yet. I've seen a bunch of reports that Nova is shutting down. So I'm wondering here if Nova is going to continue on, if Kevin was the only person working on it and now he's not. That really doesn't paint a good picture for the future of Nova. I am curious to see what happens moving forward, though, because there seem to be a lot of people currently using it. And speaking about shutting stuff down but not having an official word on the matter, next up we're talking about Nintendo, and let me know if you think this is a rare Nintendo win or not, or a common Nintendo win. I would argue rare, but anyways here, it's being reported that Nintendo is holding Switch 2 dev kits from free-to-play developers. Maybe that's a loss if you're a fan of free-to-play games. So here's the reported quote from the CEO of Strikers. Switch 2 version is not yet in development, but it will be. As of right now, Nintendo is not very much actively giving development kits to free-to-play developers. That's a global trend, and we're part of that. Once we have our hands on the new device and we start working with it, then most likely, yes. Now, if you haven't guessed already, I'm not necessarily a huge fan of free-to-play games, but let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And speaking about Nintendo dev kits, but now bringing Sega into the mix, and this headline, this whole article is super wild. It's up on Time Extension. I do recommend checking it out. Listen to the headline. Sega accused of using police to recover Nintendo dev kits it had negligently disposed of. DSi, 2DS, 3DS, Wii, and Wii U dev kits are all in the hands of the police. So based on my understanding here, Sega cleared out an office and threw a bunch of stuff to the scrapyard, including a bunch of prototype consoles. And someone purchased those prototype consoles from the scrapyard for about £10,000 with the intention to resell them. Now, sometime after that, I guess the person who purchased those consoles was met with a knock at the door by the police and was put under arrest for money laundering, and the police took those development kits and game cartridges. Based on the information in the article here, it appears that I'm not a legal expert, this is not legal advice, I don't even think I need to clarify that. But anyways here, it appears the person purchased this stuff legally and made sure they took steps to ensure they were doing that. And they were raising questions here on the legality of the raid, and it appears the cops only took the consoles, not the cables, the controllers, that stuff. Just flat out took those development consoles. This story, in my opinion, gets even more wild here, and it's still unfolding. I don't think there's a resolution just yet. I would recommend giving the full article a read here for a full grasp as to what exactly is happening. But there seem to be more questions than answers at this point in time. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. From my understanding, Sega has not issued an official statement on the matter yet. Time Extension has reached out, and I guess the person involved here has reached out as well and got nothing in response. And speaking about potential lawsuits and stuff like that, next up we're talking about Nintendo. Now, we talked about Nintendo yesterday when there was a reported settlement between Nintendo and Modded Hardware regarding the McSwitch, McFlash, and Modded Switch 2s. Anyways, it's being reported today that accessory maker Genki has settled with Nintendo. Now, for those who may not be aware, as a quick refresher here, a lot of Switch 2 information seemed to have leaked before the official Switch 2 announcement. And I'm pretty sure that Genki was one of those leakers. They had a 3D printed mock-up of the Switch 2 that they're showing off at CES. Now, I'm not certain whether or not Genki signed an NDA, or maybe they signed the NDA, but the NDA was very leaky, or maybe an NDA was just never presented. I'm not entirely sure. But I guess Nintendo was going after them for mishandling sensitive information. There are some details on the settlement, but unfortunately, there is no dollar figure that was showcased. Next up here, we're talking about Atari, and well, this is a really interesting headline. Atari launched its own Metroidvania on the same day as Silksong, but it's only hit 12 concurrent players on Steam. Now, it's no secret that a lot of people, myself included, thought Silksong was going to be a pretty heavy hitter upon release. In fact, we talked about a game like Demon School getting delayed because of the Silksong release date. And there seem to have been other games that pushed the release dates because of Silksong, but I guess Atari didn't factor that would be a problem. Now, taking a look at the trailer for The Adventure of Samsara, and it doesn't look like it's a terrible game by any stretch of the imagination. It looks relatively interesting, and one that I may be interested in if Silksong wasn't already out there and consuming time. Anyways, I really think the timing of Silksong impacted sales of this thing. I mean, taking a look over at SteamDB here, and one player right now, at least at the time of filming, is playing Adventure of Samsara. The 24-hour peak is 7 players, and the all-time peak is just 12. That is not very good in my opinion. On Steam right now, The Adventure of Samsara has a positive review score. There is a free demo available, and the game is currently 10% off. It's less than 25 bucks Canadian. That is super unfortunate for the team behind this game, and I just think this game became a victim of a bad release date. I mean, I might be wrong with that one, but I don't think so, considering Silksong has been reported to have passed 5 million players in 3 days. That is huge for the Metroidvania genre. And speaking about huge, last up here we're talking about a ROM hack that I think may be of interest to a bunch of people, and that is Tecmo Super Bowl 2025. Think about Tecmo Super Bowl for the NES, but updated with 2025-2026 rosters. Now, it is worth noting here that it's not just a simple ROM hack of changing player names and updating rosters, but there's a lot that goes into it. I mean, we've talked about similar ones with the NHL 94 series updated to NHL 25. But anyways here, they say playbooks have been edited, plays moves to different slots, edited running plays, removed bad plays. No more T-formation plays. 42 hacks in total have been installed, 41 hacks in the hard-type version, 26 hacks in the vanilla version. Defensive players are set up for either 3-4, 4-3, or nickel defenses. Team uniforms edited so home team plays in primary uniform. Sim code updated for more accurate team results. And changes to text sprites, palette updates in various locations. And there are 4 different versions, and each of them are a little bit different. There's base, vanilla, hard type, and hard type plus P2 is road team. Now, in my opinion here, ROM hacks like this breathe a whole lot of life into older games. I think they're super interesting. Let me know your thoughts about it in the comments below, and if you'd be interested in checking out a new version of Tecmo Bowl for the NES. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. We talked about a ton today, and I had even more to talk about today, but I'm pushing it to tomorrow's video just to cut down on time overall. Let me know your thoughts about anything we talked about in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate, save your state.